Good morning, my fine, beautiful folk. As many of you will probably know, I've been slowly working away using my 3D printer, starting to work on a cosplay for when those come back after COVID's finally over. One thing that I've decided to do is to take this glow-in-the-dark filament, 3D print a plasma grenade. I'm going to polish it up a little bit whenever I'm done, but this one's the prototype. I'm going to drill a hole in there, and I'm going to take these blue LEDs and these watch batteries to light it up. And it's really hard for you guys to tell, but I've had this LED sitting here on the watch battery as a test for over a week now. And it's gotten dimmer, but it's not gone out. And I've already tested LED with the glow-in-the-dark material. It absorbs that and diffuses it and makes a really nice glow, especially in low light settings. So I'm hoping that whenever I get the cosplay fully done, the plasma grenades will look like they're active, and I can use that same technique with some of the other filaments to make the pistols look like they're glowing appropriately. Well, we found the crack. Oh, these are my gutters. Cracks. I was kidding about this match. Hey everybody, it looks pretty simple. Day 2 or 3. Continue making sure that's got a good seal to it. Alright, so I'm currently working on the ODST pistol for the ODST outfit, and I feel like I'm missing something here with the 3D design. Like, I messed something up in the program. Because that's only 2 layers deep, should be as thick as that. And it took forever to get this far with this file. I'm going to go back to square one and re-look at it, because I've got to be messing something up. Note to self, it appears that for some reason none of the supports exported correctly. I need to re-slice and export the file. And we have put the bad prints in there for recycling later. So I ended up using that caulk to bond and fill in the gaps. Now I've just got to let it dry, sand it down, and paint it. And then hopefully get to move on to finishing the LED stuff in the grenades and figuring out what's wrong with the 3D file that it won't print the parts for the ODST pistol. And yes, while I'm in my shoddy little maker space, I am wearing a lab coat, and yes, it does make me feel amazing. I think I found the settings that were wrong in Cura, and we're going to give it a shot. It's already building the foundation better than it did on the last print. So I think basically what I had going on here is somehow I had selected the wrong filament size and the wrong quality, something that my printer couldn't actually handle, and then I deleted a support somewhere. Not sure on that last one, but that's what it felt like. So I'm going to print this in smaller pieces so I can find the problems quicker, and going to double check all my settings through all the files as I go through. But we might actually be able to get a good ODST pistol out of this, and while that's printing, I'm going to work on the grenades! I'm going to say after much trial and tribulation that I've got my settings just right. I think I figured out why this print is so much better than this print, and how to avoid that problem in the future. Basically what I'm pretty sure is going on is the new glass bed just takes longer to fully heat up, and if I start printing before it's fully heated up, we end up with this type of lifting right here. So we're going to run this print again, letting it heat up as long as we did with this print, and see if that's the case. But I mean, it makes sense. The glass bed does have more thermal capacity. Alright, let's check to see how this one that just got done is compared to the original version of this print. Right. No lifting there. Alright, let's go ahead and clean this one up of its support. And I think we're going to keep this one and put this one in the recycling bin. First part is finding where the top line for this is. Pop one. The rest of that should come off from there. I don't know if you can tell from this video, but I'm getting even better print quality. And what I did this time was re-leveled the legs. Actually just put one of my prints under here to where it doesn't wobble as badly as it was, because what I was using to keep it from wobbling slowly wore down and wasn't really doing a great job. So it seems like something I should have realized before. I probably should have, but yeah, get rid of your wobble. Alright, I think we're finally getting somewhere with these 3D prints, because this, after a lot of tinkering, basically perfect. It's going to be the top slide on the ODST pistol I'm making for the cosplay. I had to print it at an angle because it just wouldn't fit on the extra y-axis. And took a little bit of extra material, but $3 or $4 of extra material instead of having to buy a whole much bigger printer was fine by me. Should just be as easy as popping it off, because I put the boundaries where they should just, no, okay. I did not make that thick enough, because that's supposed to just pop right off. I might be able to fix that with a little bit of bonding agent. In for a penny, in for a pound. Let's see about popping this off. Yes, I think I might actually have to just reprint this, if I'm being honest at this point, because I had thought I had that set for this whole thing to be one solid piece, but apparently it's more hollow than I wanted it to be. But the quality on it, on the actual print, is that's almost prop ready. Only a little bit of sanding and some highlight paint, and we'll be good to rock and roll. So you need to remember, don't try to post-process. You're way too darn tired. I'm almost running out of battery too. Alright, I'm gonna turn off the camera and work on this. Alright, let's see how good the printer did compared to the previous attempt after I've made those corrections. Alright, let's pop her off. Alright, so the previous attempt, after only making a few minor corrections, let's see. Top looks good on both. Let's go ahead and start peeling the clip. While we do this, I'm going to preheat this baby for the next one. I think I need to get a bigger table for this, because I'm already running out of room. Like over here in this corner, I've now got my prop paint and the sanding blocks. I can't even have my bonding agent over here with all the other stuff. Right here, I've got my filament. And then we go back to normal office stuff. I think I'm going to get a corner desk that'll wrap around here and around here, and then use this table on the other side of the room to hold more of the office stuff to get it out of the way. We'll see where that gets us, but this just feels a whole lot sturdier. Let's go ahead and see if we can pop out the inners real quick. Should have a tab right there. I should have printed it this way, but whenever I did that the first attempt, the whole thing broke. Something was going on weird with the G-code, so I fixed it by just flipping it. I think I should actually just spend a little bit more time in the G-code. Should just pop. It's not popping out real easy. Center did enough. I think I may have made the supports too sturdy, but the actual layering's better than this. But while we're doing that, we're going to preheat this for the next one, and I'm going to see if I can get these to pop out real easy. It would suck if I have to print this again, I think, but if I understand, that just needs to be able to slide in there, and it doesn't matter that this is infilled. I just need to put a little spring in there and clip. I think I'm going to reprint. We're going to see where that gets us without having to take all that off, because I think I like the fact that that's made some extra infill in there on accident, and the part that's going to act like the magazine release will fit without a problem. The only problem is bonding. It's going to be an issue. So I'm going to take a soldering gun in there and manually make the holes on both sides, and then use bonding agent would probably be good, because I had some issue with getting this part off of here without lifting material anyways. Let's see. Thinking, like, my current train of thought is make double up on the infill on this, so this piece is a little bit stronger, so that whenever I go to pop off this stuff, this support structure, it'll come out easy like it's supposed to. Let's see. Very nice. Going to require very little painting, if any at all. Pieces like this, for some reason, the connections between the support and the main structure are bad enough that pain to get off. Okay, I'm going to take out this and upload the version 3 of these, because these are all printing from V1. Alright, we've got version 3's rolling through the printer now. Somehow I goofed and I told it to print that both step 1 and 2 was this, when step 2 is supposed to be a mirror version of this. So we've got that going right now. Let's see where that goes. I like this better than this version. So we're going to call that progress. We're going to stack them here. This was a corner bracket for a shelf, but it didn't come out quite right, but it's still not necessarily bad, but it cannot hold any weight. So we're going to throw that into the recycling bin. Try that again. This, we're going to get working on some post-processing of one of the other models that is further along. And since I don't want to mess with the electronics I want to put into the grenade until I have some solder and an actual case for the batteries 3D printed, we're going to work on the plasma pistol once I get this cleaned up a little bit. Currently, we've got this to a point where it's stable and doesn't shake apart. This could use a little bit more. It's not like perfect. Got it stable. I'm going to sand down any imperfections, fill in any gaps if we find them. I'm not actually going to put a whole bunch of work into filling these gaps, considering this is a version 1 of this that's going to be given away to my brother-in-law for free, who wants to go dressed as a character from the same game I want to go as. If he wants a better one, we can work on let him have a V2 of this. But yeah, so we're going to sand these rough parts down. Then we're going to pull up a picture and start painting with this acrylic paint that I was told is very good for models and the like. There's, I believe, 24 different colors in there, so we should have enough for this. Let's get sanding. And we're going to start with a relatively fine grit. See if that removes enough material. If not, we'll start with something a little bit more rough, then work our way to fine. 120 grit, see where that gets us. Not too bad. Yeah, that's not doing too bad. I'm starting with the 120, I'm going to work towards 220, but that's already smoother than right here. So, let's... Alright, I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's a lot more smooth. There's no real burrs on here or any overhanging material. In fact, I need to put a little bit more material in here, but I legit think I'm going to skip that step just so I can move on to the next one. Like I said, I'm doing this for somebody else for free. I have a lot of stuff I need to get done, so we're going to do a rush job on this, and we're just going to paint this. And besides, whenever me and him talked, I warned him that this is going to be a very rough prototype V1 of me making a full prop with this 3D printer. So he's going to be okay with that. The next stage is we're going to go ahead and paint it and see how good we can get from there. And then I'm going to, after I'm done with all my stuff, work on a V2 for him, but that's only going to be after I have time to do so and all the stuff that's on my docket for my cosplay is out of the way. I like how it stands up. Didn't used to do that. Alright, version 3 seems to be a lot better than version 1 or 2. And I think we're going to scrap the early versions and just go through and reprint version 3 of everything, especially this. So this print kind of stopped and was going for quite a few hours before I caught it. Turns out the problem is, I don't know if you guys can see that, so all those little black flakes that are around that pulley, that's filament that kind of got ground off because something jammed the filament, and then this little guy right here just kind of ground down the filament until it could no longer push through. So that hot end has been hot for the last couple of hours with no filament being pushed through. And it was at this height, and it stopped printing at that height. So, yeah, that's a lesson I learned. Hopefully I didn't break that hot end, otherwise I will be doing a video on how to replace a hot end.